Well, history has been made. Welcome to episode 8 of the Everything and Nothing podcast. And I'm recording this one much later than usual. It's almost 10 o'clock here in LA, so this will be up by probably midnight. Hopefully everyone listens on Sunday morning. But I was waiting for the Cubs game to end, and it did, and the Cubs won, and they're headed to the World Series. And I'm pretty shocked. Like I've said before, the best team usually doesn't always win. The Cubs were the best team this year by far, and it looks like we're actually getting the best two teams in baseball in the World Series. I'm not really sure how it's going to play out. I keep trying to think of a scenario that I think is going to happen, but I have no idea. The Cubs are just a team of destiny, I guess, but part of me still thinks the Indians are going to take it. I remember back in, 2012, when the Giants won, and I had been asked, what would you rather have? The team like the Tigers, who unfortunately swept the Yankees at the time. Would you rather have your team sweep and have days off, or win a Game 7 or something and have momentum? And I picked rest because it's baseball and you want your pitchers to be rested. And then, of course, the Giants won. So, again, I would always pick rest over momentum, I guess, because I still think once a series starts, the momentum slate is clean and it's a brand new ball game. It's going to be a great series. Hendricks pitched his balls off today. I can't believe they got him for Ryan Dempster. That was a steal of a trade. The post game honestly was more entertaining than the actual game because the team of Alex Rodriguez, Pete Rose, and Frank Thomas is just hysterical. I think they should all have their own show. Frank contributes the least. Alex and Pete are hilarious, and I forget who the moderator is. The guy who works for the network. I forget his name, but he's hilarious too. They always throw jabs at Pete Rose's age. And today Pete was like, "A-Rod, how many World Series did you win? 5?" Pete and A-Rod just looks at me, he's like, 5? It's like 4, 3. What'd you win? He goes, "I won 1, Pete." He goes, "Oh, you won the same as him?" Pointed at Frank Thomas. He's like, "Oh, never mind then." Pete won a bunch, I think, and went to a bunch with the Big Red Machine. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it's hilarious. Most people don't like Pete Rose, and most people do not like A-Rod. I'm iffy on Pete Rose as a person. I love A-Rod to death for many reasons. The main reason is just, yes, he messed up. Yes, he took some stuff he wasn't supposed to take. Just like others, he apologized. He realized his mistake. But he just loves the game of baseball. And people think a lot of things he says is a cover-up. But people that are close to him, like Michael Kay and all the Yankees reporters and stuff, they know A-Rod is very genuine when it comes to his love for the game. He's always in there helping younger guys. He's always trying to learn himself. I posted something on Facebook kind of explaining that with a link to it was a video of Pete Rose and Frank Thomas and A-Rod. And it was like when I think the cameras were off, or the live cameras were off, and they were just recording them bullshit around, and they were talking about what you do when you get into a slump or whatever. And Pete Rose was saying stuff. He's like, "Never change your swing. I always go up in the box, back of the box, left of the box, or right of the box. I never change my swing because that's what got you to the big leagues." And Alex is just asking him question after question. This guy's just retired. Well, there's a chance he comes back and plays this year or next year, but I don't think it's happening. But he's just like trying to learn, and he was just amazed at what Pete had to offer him, and that's kind of why I love A-Rod. That and the fact that he got us to the 2009 World Series is just incredible. But yeah, congrats to the Cubs. Congrats to the Cubs fans. It's been a long time coming. 4 years ago, this team lost 102 games, I believe. Now they won 103. They've won 200 in the last 2 seasons. They're just stacked with young talent. And there's even rumors that Schwarber may come back for the World Series as a DH, but I think they should just stick with what they have. It's working. And Schwarber probably will not be able to catch up to the balls he'll be facing from guys like Kluber and all the other pitchers on the Indians and Andrew Miller. Because he's had one minor league game or something. I just don't think it's smart to fix what ain't broken. But It'll be a very fun World Series. But I wrote my notes. I wrote notes for the podcast. This was before the game. I was thinking about what happened, and I thought about this all week. And I thought as soon as it was 3-2 with Kershaw going Game 6, I didn't know obviously. I thought Kershaw was gonna shut him down again, maybe let up 1 or 2 runs. I thought the Dodgers were gonna come out and score runs. They were gonna win that game, and then the next game Hill would come out, Jensen would come out, and if needed, Kershaw again in the pen. I thought this was Kershaw's year. He struggled in the postseason every other time besides this one, and I thought this was it. He showed brilliance, but in the end, he choked. And it wasn't all him. Obviously, his team didn't even score for him, so if he let up 1 run, it wouldn't have mattered. But he didn't hit his spots tonight. He just didn't have it, and he threw like 5 or 6 curveballs as money pitch, and one of them was a strike or some ridiculous stat like that. So maybe next year for the Dodgers, if they re-sign guys like Turner, they re-sign Jensen. They don't re-sign Kenley Jensen, then I don't know what they're doing. I'm sure he wants to stay. I would love the Yankees to get him. The Giants may offer him. They need a closer. But yeah, Dodgers and the Cubs and the Indians, the Mets, I think, if they're healthy, those are teams that are going to be good for a long time. I don't know what's going on with the Blue Jays. I believe a couple of their older guys are free agents, or I don't know if they're going to keep them. Batista's not getting any younger, and Encarnacion's not getting any younger. So I don't know what's up with them. If they keep the same team, obviously, I think they'll be another postseason contender next year. I think the Yankees, it all depends on what their starting rotation looks like next year. They have the bats to do it, I believe, next year with Sanchez playing a full year, Bird coming back, Castro, Gregorius is getting better every year. Plus the young guys they got in the minors that may come up again in the second half and help out the team just like the young guys this year. So it's going to be a fun year next year, but obviously still the World Series to come. I'm just going to pick the Indians right now. I wouldn't be upset with either scenario. I just feel like I have to root for the Indians now. They knocked out the 2 teams I hated the most. So I owe it to the Indians. All right, let's move on to some football. I got to get up at 6:30 to watch the Giants play in freaking London, who don't deserve a game. I don't know why they continue to go to London. I feel like interest in football is not really popular over there. It's always shitty weather, and yeah, it's gonna make me get up at 6:30. But the reason the Giants are playing in this game is because they lost to the Eagles the last game of last year, which I was happy about because we play the Eagles. We play the Rams, and the Eagles have to play the Seahawks. I believe that was what the turnout was. So I just hope we make the best of losing last year by winning this game this year. Last week, though, in Week 6, I went 8-6 in my picks. Overall, I'm 51-40. I got the Thursday night game this year. I got the Thursday night game right this week. The Packers beat the Bears, and the Bears suck. Last week I got the Eagles-Redskins game wrong. The Redskins beat the Eagles. The Eagles are actually looking pretty bad. They look like they were playing the best version of themselves the first couple weeks, and now that they've come back down to earth. I got the Panthers-Saints game wrong. Panthers are just looking really bad. Saints got a win, so I was surprised. The Dolphins beat the Steelers. Big Ben got hurt, so that really explains why. Chiefs beat the Raiders. That was a toss-up. I didn't really know who to pick. I'm not surprised that the Chiefs won. I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders won. Cowboys beat the Packers. Just wow, shocked that the Cowboys are playing this well. And the Texans beat the Colts with a pretty crazy comeback. So I was almost right with that one. But this week, Week 7, rattle off what we got. Giants-Rams, first game, picking my Giants. I don't think that it's going to be a tough game for the Giants. I think we'll win. We should be able to win by at least 10. Just got to stop the run game. I don't think Case Keenum's really that good. So I think the defense, the secondary at least, shouldn't have too many problems. People are getting healthy again, so Giants should be in top shape. Just got to stop Gurley, and we got to block Aaron Donald so we don't get sacked 100 times. But I think Jennings is back, I believe. Rogers Cromartie's back, so Giants should take this one. Saints at Chiefs. I'm going with Chiefs. Pretty self-explanatory. Chiefs are a good team. Saints are not. Colts at Titans. I really wanted to pick the Colts, but I'm going with the Titans. I always doubt the Titans in Mariota, but they find ways to make me stupid. Vikings at Eagles. Like I said, the Eagles are coming down from their high. Vikings going to go 6-0, I believe. Got Browns at Bengals. Pretty easy picking the Bengals. Bengals haven't been playing well, but the Browns are the worst team in football. They're going to go 0-7. Redskins at Lions. Lions at home, I'm going to take. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Raiders at Jaguars. My belief for the Jaguars went down pretty instantly. Raiders should take that one. I'm also pretty high on the Raiders, so Raiders should take that easily. Bills at Dolphins. Bills. They should probably win by 20 or something. Bills are a high-scoring team. Rex Ryan's doing actually a pretty good job, as much as I hate to admit it. Ravens at Jets. Jets are another one of the worst teams in football. I don't like the Ravens. I don't believe in the Ravens, but they should win this game easily. Geno Smith is also starting quarterback, so you have problems there. It's just so laughable. It's so Jets that they did all of this to get Fitzpatrick back, and he sucks, and Geno starts. So funny. So typical Jets. Bucks at Niners. 49ers, again, another one of the teams that are just not good. I was a believer in the Bucks this year. I don't think that they're going to do much anyway now, but I'm picking the Bucks this week. Chargers at Falcons. Falcons should run through the Chargers. Or it'll probably be a high-scoring game with the Falcons pulling away at the end, winning by 1 or 2 scores. Pats at Steelers with no Big Ben. This is pretty simple. Pats are going to win. Seahawks at Cardinals. Seahawks are playing better than I thought they would this year. Cardinals are playing a lot worse than I thought this year, so Seahawks. And then Texans at Broncos for next week's Thursday night game. And I'm going to go Broncos. Texans are pretty inconsistent. I'm not a believer in them really either. So it's week 7, or week 6 is just completed. I'm going to go through the standings and give my thoughts on how teams will finish up. In the AFC East, we got the Pats at 5-1. They should win the division. They should get the 1 seed, home field advantage, and probably make it to the Super Bowl. Bills at 4-2. If they want to win the division, I'm going to say they have to win every game from now on, which again would be beating the Pats. That would put the Pats in 2 losses. The Bills would also have 2 losses, and the Bills would have 2 wins over the Pats. And that's the only way I see them winning. Finns and Jets, 2-4 and 1-5. They're both just awful. The North, we have Steelers at 4-2, Ravens at 3-3, Bengals at 2-4, and Browns at 0-6. Browns are out. Bengals, I think, could make a run and leapfrog the Ravens and the Steelers because Big Ben's out. Something with his knee, I believe. I don't know when he's coming back. If Big Ben comes back within the next 4 weeks, the Steelers should win this division. They still probably will. I will be shocked if the Ravens win this division. Bengals just need to step up, and if they play like the football that they should be playing, they'll win the division with Big Ben out. The South, Texans at 4-2, Titans at 3-3, Jags at 2-3, and Colts at 2-4. Honestly, it's anyone's division. The Titans could pull away. The Colts could come back and play the football they're supposed to be playing. The Texans can just stay on the pace that they are now. I'm going to make a bold prediction, say the Titans are going to pull it out. I won't be shocked, obviously, if the Texans remain. Jaguars will probably end up coming in last, though. And I think I had them winning the wild card, which looks stupid now. West, Raiders at 4-2, Broncos at 4-2, Chiefs at 3-2, and Chargers at 2-4. What a division that is! Raiders, Broncos, and Chiefs, all good teams. I think the Raiders and Broncos are both going to make the playoffs. I'll say the Raiders win the wild card. Broncos win the division. It'll be close though. And now in the NFC, the East, the Cowboys 5-1, Redskins 4-2, Eagles 3-2, and the Giants 3-3. Giants do hold the victory over the Cowboys. Cowboys it was week 1 with a new quarterback, so I don't know if that means the Giants can beat them again. Redskins, they're playing on and off. The Eagles looked amazing. Now they look terrible. It's really anyone's division again. I'm going to say that the Cowboys, it's hard to go 5-1 and not make the playoffs. They're going to have to lose a lot of games in a row, which is possible. Cowboys will probably win the division with the Giants, I believe, lurking for a wild card spot. And I'm sure the Eagles or the Redskins will also be right there looking for a wild card spot as well. Probably the Redskins. The North, we have the Vikings at 5-0. They're going to run away with this division. They're going to run away, probably get the 1 seed. The Packers at 4-2. I think they're going to be the wild card front runner. Lions at 3-3. They're playing solid, but they're just not there yet. Bears are terrible at 1-6. And finally, the South Falcons 4-2. Bucks 2-3. Saints 2-3. Panthers 1-5. Falcons are going to win by default because the rest of the 3 teams are terrible, and the Falcons are pretty decent. Oh, sorry, forgot one more. Said that was the last one. West, we have the Seahawks at 4-1, Rams at 3-3, Cardinals at 3-3, 49ers at 1-5. Cardinals show sign of brilliance, but they also show signs of terrible. They are a wild card possibility. I think the Seahawks are also going to kind of win it by default. I don't think they're going to play amazing, but I think they're just going to be playing better than everyone in the division. And that's football. As I take a sip of water because my mouth is extremely dry. Good old water. So yeah, football, it's been a pretty good year so far. A lot of close matchups. So we'll see how those play out. Obviously, my predictions from the first podcast I did, most of those are already down the drain. But moving on from football, let's talk a little bit about music. I haven't talked about it in a while. I want to talk about Kid Cudi, one of my personal favorite musicians. I don't really like calling him a rapper because he's not really a rapper. I don't really know what he is, so I just call him a musician. Background, Man on the Moon 1 and 2 are 2 of my favorite albums of all time. Listen to that shit all the time. They're so good. Just every song. And then he did the Wizard shit, which was awful. He did Indicud, which was alright. What's the other one I'm missing? There's another one in there. And then Speeding Bullet to Heaven, which came out last year, which was like 18 songs on the first part and 8 songs on the other. And it was very long and very hard to get through. But his new album coming out called Passion, Pain, and Demon Slayin'. 2 singles have been released, Surfin' and Frequency, and they're both fucking awesome. Frequency is typical Cudi, very like low, very slow, very just like that Kid Cudi feeling, that Man on the Moon feeling, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. You just know when you're listening to it. And then Surfin' is like upbeat, dancey. It's crazy. It's like he doesn't really make songs like that. Like Up in a Way, kind of, but it's more dancey than that. And Erase Me, those are 2 of his more like pop songs and like songs you can dance to. But Surfin' is like on a new level. It's awesome. I cannot wait to hear this album. It's split into 4 parts, or 4 acts. It's 18 songs total. He's got features, 2 songs from Andre 3000 that I can't wait for those. I love Andre 3000. He's got 2 songs with Pharrell and 1 with Willow Smith. So I'm very curious for the Willow Smith song. just because that's random. Oh, and one with Travis Scott. That should be a pretty good. That'll probably be more rappy. If that's not a word, I just made it up. It'll be more of a rap song than Kid Cudi's because Travis Scott's a rapper. So is Andre, but they could do something crazy. That's why I'm excited. There is no Man on the Moon 3, which is upsetting. I really wish that he did it, but that's just not him anymore. And obviously, if he forced it, he knows it would be bad, and he doesn't want to do that. Even though I don't know why he did Wizard. I guess that's just Cudi. Let him do what he wants to do. If he wants to be Jimi Hendrix, let him try. I guess. But I'm glad he's back to making the music of old. Hopefully, yeah, the signs are there. The signs are there. All right, I'll talk about wrestling for a little. There's not much to talk about. Hell in a Cell is next week, so on Saturday I'll do my whole predictions, my whole thoughts. I will say though, 3 Hell in a Cell matches can be a lot. It will probably be repetitive, and all of the matches are very predictable. I don't think any of the champions are gonna lose their titles. But I'm just glad Charlotte and Sasha are main eventing and on the poster and everything, and they're getting the spotlight. And it is the first women's Hell in a Cell match, so that's why I think they should main event. I don't think really it's big enough. Like, they're awesome, but they've had a bunch of pay-per-view matches. If Rollins and Owens wasn't so predictable and so, like, not stale, but if it was more fresh, then I think they should main event. But Sasha, Charlotte's main eventing. It's awesome. Good for the women. But let's talk about the SmackDown side of things. James Ellsworth really is the hot topic here. He's just good for James Ellsworth. He's just the guy they brought in to do one match, get destroyed by this guy Braun Strowman, who's this monster of a man. For those of you who don't know, and they had him talk before, and he said this thing: "Why do you think you can win?" He's just like, any man with 2 hands has a fighting chance. And people loved it. He's got no chin. And he's just hilarious looking. And the fans just really started getting behind this guy, so they brought him back a few times. And they had him face AJ Styles, with Dean being the referee. Long story short, Ellsworth beats AJ Styles, the champion. And the next week they have him come back and get a title match. I thought they should have booked it where there's a ref bump. Dean comes in or something. Dirty Deeds once, twice. Ellsworth puts him over. Ref crawls in 1, 2, or a new ref comes in and does 1, 2, 3. And then James Ellsworth celebrating with the title, blah blah blah, running around with Dean, and then the referee reverses it or something. Like the first referee comes back and says no, there's a disqualify. Like AJ hit me or something. And kind of like they had Jericho when they thought he was going to win his first title, then Triple H got it back from the referee screwing him or something with a fast count. I thought they should have done that. That would have been unreal. Would have been a great moment. But what they did was fine. AJ is just too good in the ring. He's just too good on the mic. He's just too good. And we're all lucky that we get to witness AJ in WWE. So not much else is going on in wrestling. We still got the Dusty Classic going on in NXT. I really like the team of Rich Swann and No Way Jose. They're just 2 guys who get fired up and dance and kick some ass. No Way Jose is a guy where him, as just who he is, got over with the stupidest gimmick. The gimmick doesn't always make the guy. The name doesn't always make the guy. The guy makes the name. The guy makes the gimmick. I think this is a great example. When he first debuted, or they were doing this stupid vignettes, I was just like, oh my god, what the hell is No Way Jose? How is that somebody's name? Like, how do they think that's a good idea? But it was the mixture of like his ability in the ring and on the mic. When he feuded with Austin Aries, when he first got serious, then you started to see that, all right, he's got some fire in him. He's got what it takes to not just dance around. And his theme song gets you fired up. And it was he's just one of those guys that gets himself over when everything booked on him is pretty shitty. And Rich Swann is one of the best talents they have in NXT. I'm really glad that they're noticing that, and they're putting him on Raw, and they're putting him on NXT, and they're really, really behind him. But yeah, Cedric and Almas should be a decent feud as long as Cedric goes over. I'm kind of scared they're going to put Almas over and try to see how he works as a heel. It wouldn't be the worst thing. Cedric's pretty new, and he's also on Raw. So maybe Almas needs this, but I don't know. I don't care about Almas. But good for him being a heel. I wonder how actually angry he is at the fans for not giving a shit about him. But oh well. So I think right now, if I just had to predict who's going to win the Dusty Classic, honestly, I don't even know. I kind of hope they give it to the Revival. It's just another accolade for them. But I can see them losing again to DIY. I could see them winning. I hope Sanity doesn't win. I hope Authors of Pain don't win. I'm curious to see how Authors of Pain lose. I'm guessing by countout or something. But it would be very weird with a heel team winning, especially a heel team that's like monster gimmick like Sanity and Authors of Pain, because it's for Dusty. It's supposed to be celebrated at the end. So it would be weird seeing it, but I also don't want a face to win it every single year because that's stupid and predictable. So we'll see how it goes. That'd be cool if Ciampa and Gargano win it. Hopefully, if they do beat the Revival, they get another title match at Toronto and win the title, actually. I'll be jealous that I wasn't there for it, because when I was there in Brooklyn and they didn't win, I was so upset. That was one of the most fun I've had at watching a match live, like ever. It was the second best match I saw that weekend after John and Styles. So I'm just rambling now on wrestling. I could do this forever. But yeah, hopefully Do It Yourself, aka Gargano and Ciampa, or the Revival win. Those are the two best tag teams, honestly, in WWE. Alpha has potential to be the best tag team. I just think they're booking them slow right now, which is probably smart. Have them built, because I don't think the SmackDown crowd or the WWE crowd is as high on them as NXT was. They need to grow, and they need to get the fans behind them. Usos are at the top of their game right now. They're doing very well. Slater and Rhino are the best version of what they can be. Slater's awesome, so I'm glad he's getting recognized. Who we got on Raw? New Day. I'm still 100% behind the New Day. Hope they have an 800-day title reign. That'd be unreal to have them break Demolition's record and just keep going. People hate that. People have such short attention spans. They like something 1 week, and then they do the same thing 2 weeks in a row, and they suddenly hate it. But New Day doesn't do the same thing. They keep it fresh. They are new. They're very in touch. I've said this before on this podcast, but New Day went from the worst gimmick to the best gimmick in less than a year, and they're getting recognized for it, and they're holding the titles forever because of it. I'm just glad that the WWE is recognizing how good they were and how they got themselves over again. Like No Way Jose, a guy or three guys who are funny, talented, and smart, and know how to work, and went from, again, being like, it was like dreadful to see them. It was just every time they come out, it was just, oh my god, why are they doing this? To New Day comes out and everyone's going with their catchphrases and singing along and doing everything. So good for them. They're awesome in the ring and out of the ring. New Day's awesome. So tag team division actually as a whole is awesome in WWE. The brand split I think is working because guys like Alpha and the Usos and Slater and Rhino get to showcase themselves, and on the other side you have the New Day, Jericho, which is crazy because he's also the champion, but they're honestly the most entertaining thing in WWE right now, or at least on Raw. And Anderson and Gallows, who even if they're losing, they're still getting top spots on Raw. They're still getting matches with the champions. They're still getting segments on TV. It's not always about wins and losses. So tag team division is working real well right now. I love how I went from talking about the Dusty Classic to tag teams on every show. But yeah, I think wrestling is pretty good right now. It's better than it was at this point last year, 2 years ago. I was always a fan of the brand split. I always am a fan of the brand split. More guys can get more chances. It is weird though that there's a pay-per-view every 2 weeks. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love wrestling, and I love watching it, and I will continue to watch it forever. But it seems less special. But I mean, they're not supposed to be big shows, I guess. So maybe they are supposed to be a little less special. I don't know. But I don't think a show like Hell in the Cell should be a Raw pay-per-view. Maybe make that one a dual show, or just don't have it, because you don't need 3 Hell in a Cell matches, and you don't need... Like, why should Raw get Hell in a Cell and not SmackDown? Do they get, like, Elimination Chamber or another one, like TLC? Or is that going to be all 3 or both shows as well? Because it's like a gimmick thing, so why should they get left out of the gimmick? But who knows? Survivor Series is going to be the best Survivor Series in years, and probably over 10 years. Survivor Series has been nothing. They usually do 1 match or 2 matches at most of the traditional Survivor Series. SmackDown already challenged Raw to 3. Their top 5 tag teams, top 5 divas, or sorry, women, and top 5 male athletes or wrestlers. My only question is, when they have those 3 matches, what the hell else are they going to do? Are they going to have the champions on both teams and then wrestle another match, which would be fine? Or are they going to say champions not allowed, they get to have their title matches and then next up? But that really wouldn't be the top 5, because you can't have Team SmackDown without Styles, and you can't have Team Raw without Owens or Rollins, whoever wins, which will probably be Owens. So I don't really see what else they're going to do. But yeah, that's enough of wrestling right there. We'll pick up with wrestling next week with Hell in the Cell predictions. It's in Boston. My brother's going. Hope he has a blast. Him and Randy, they're going together. Got floor seats, so hopefully they have a good show to watch. But yeah, I'm gonna probably end this podcast here. Do a little outro right now. It's 10:30. This podcast is decent length, 32 minutes. Just give you a little update on what I'm planning for this channel. I know I've said a bunch of things before, haven't delivered on some, but and just an update on my life in general. I'm working on more towards getting a job in film and production. Hopefully some things work out. I don't know, I've applied a few places, but I'm constantly writing sketches now, coming up with ideas, and I can't obviously film them by myself. I don't really have people out here that can assist me with making films like I was at school or something. But plan is now that one of my friends is going to move out here in January. Fingers crossed. Hopefully he gets a job too. So it all works out. And once that happens, sketches will be flowing and coming probably weekly. I'll have more motivation, more opportunities, more chances to do some fun stuff. I have plenty of ideas. I don't know if I really want to go over them now or just keep them a surprise. But some sketch ideas have been coming. I've written a bunch. So once it's more possible to film them, we're going to just start banging them out. I'm going to do more food reviews, hopefully. More food challenges. That was really fun. I'm probably going to do a foot-long sub next. Obviously, if you have any ideas what you want to see me eat quickly or review, leave them in the comments or tweet them at me. Preferably leave them in the comments. I'm guaranteed to see them there. And then, yeah, so if you want to see me eat something big, no pun intended, or no sexual innuendo intended, let me know. Spicy foods I will try. some, but man, do I not have a good tolerance for spicy food. I love to eat spicy food, but it just does not, like, it kills me. Like, my nose runs, my eyes water, my I it's bad. My mouth gets on fire. Speaking of hot food, if you haven't watched there's a YouTube series called Hot Ones. I think the YouTube channel is Complex. This guy gets athletes and celebrities, and he has 10 wings, all with increasing levels of heat. Every round they eat one, and then he asks them a question. It's the funniest thing ever. Hot Ones. Look it up. Definitely suggest you watch it. That's a hilarious YouTube show. So definitely check that out. But yeah, again, if you have ideas for what you want to see me devour in hopefully record time, let me know. Again, sketches are going to be coming, and when I'm with more people, we're going to do like, not prank videos, but like out in the public videos, I guess you could say. There'll probably be other videos of us playing video games or something, or competition, something crazy, just something fun, something we could do easily. But yeah, thank you again for listening. Subscribe if you haven't. This channel is going to grow into something better and better every week. I appreciate everyone that has watched and subscribed and commented. It does mean a lot to me. So thank you again. This was week 8, so 2 months basically. Can't believe it.